Hey there, Wargamers, Justin here on Pennington. Today, we're going to play some Battletech. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. If you are new here, please alpha strike that like and subscribe button. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you for having my six. I appreciate you being an awesome lance mate, star mate, whatever the case may be for you. That said, for today, I have another Battletech Alpha Strike Aces game for you guys. The factions that I have picked for this and the upcoming videos were ones based off comments on Patreon and YouTube, and it seems like Kurita was a pretty popular one that people wanted to see. Not sure why, but that's what I have brought out today. I would have a slight caveat to today's battle report. If you're watching and you are new, please don't expect any kind of crazy tactical list building here. This is for aces. I specifically built lance on lance as close as I could at 200 points, so this isn't a good representation of what you might do in a tournament. But for a more casual setting, I think this is perfect. Also, to make the aces work with the cards here, some of the units aren't specifically era accurate because of what I have versus what the cards need for the specific battlefield role. For example, I want to field an Atlas, but it's a Juggernaut. On most of them, there's not a Juggernaut card. So things like that occur where I have things that are painted, but to get the right battlefield role, I have to get something from a different era and kind of cram it in. So you guys probably won't notice this, but that's what I've had to do. With that being said, let's transition over here, and I will show you guys the forces I brought out today. Right, so we will go ahead and start off with our Davion forces here. I got my little Alpha Strike printout list, and for the first mech up, we have got our Bushwhacker, one of my favorites, and we are using the X2 variant, mostly because I liked the damage value, and I wasn't sure exactly what I was picking because I was trying to make it work. Next up, we have the Hunchback, another one of my faves, and we're running, surprise, surprise, the 4P for the 5 damage. You'll notice these guys are super duper good skills. These are the elite of the elite minus the Locust, who's not quite as elite, but still super elite. We've got our Locust coming in as well. This is a Dark Age Ill Clan era one. I grabbed it because for the Aces stuff, it's going to be efficient with the 3-2 damage, but you'll notice skill 2, pretty good movement. And then last but not least, we'll have our Thunderbolt coming in at skill 1 as well, pretty good damage. And here is that bad boy right here. And that is going to be our roughly 200 points of Davion forces. I think they came in just under, I think most of the list I built today came in just under 200 points. So for our Op 4, the stuff our Davion forces are going to face will be the Kuritans. And today, first up, we've got our Battlemaster. Got the derpy metal one because I think it's cute. And we are running the 1G variant, 331 for damage. Look at all that HP. Skill 2, he's not going to be doing a lot of damage, but he will be hitting, and he's going to be a pain in the butt to take out. Next up, we've got the Wolverine. This is the 6K variant, coming in with skill 3. Decent amount of HP, 330 for damage, not bad. Following him up, we've got the Catapult. We're running the K3 variant, which I believe is the PPCs, even though the picture shows missiles. So 432 for damage, 2 skill, good chunk of HP. And then finally, just because I wanted to field this, and I never played the era to play this in, I wanted to field an Uziel, and that is what we've done today. This one is the, I'm about to say BS, but it looks like the 8S version, 440 for damage. ECM, which won't be a big deal, but he's got strong jump jets, which is cool. And this is going to be our Striker, Sniper, Skirmisher, Brawler list for the Kuritans, which will be using the Aces cards. So hopefully they'll not be too stupid. For today's battle, I've moved the cameras around, tried the best I can to get this in focus. You'll notice we're playing on a smaller battlefield. This is the Battletech official battle map for Alpha Strike, which is super duper small and a little stupid. This works great for Classic, because I think there's a version of this with the hexes on it. This has no hexes, and it's not very big. I should retract my previous statement and say it's not completely stupid. If you're playing fast games like we're doing here, it makes sense, or really low model count trying to explore, cool. But because the map is so small here, let's get a quick measurement for you. From edge to edge, we are at about 35, maybe 36 inches, quick math. So this is less than 4 feet, which means it is really constricting the battlefield in, and it definitely this way too. So your ranges and stuff, like max range sitting back, is not going to be as common. It's going to get the action going fast, which is cool. But if you're playing higher point games with a lot of models, this is going to get really congested. So if you pick one of these up and you aren't familiar with it, know that it's going to serve you better for very low model counts. So you get high model count games or high point value, you might want to play in a larger map. That said, for today, we're just going to be doing a stand-up fight, blowing each other up. Probably go to turn 10. I don't think it'll take that long. That said, let's go ahead and get some rolling going on here. We are also playing on the new terrain from Battlefield in the or Gale Force 9's Battlefield in the Box. This is the terrain from that is from the Battletech line made by Chris from Thunderhead Studios, and we're going to be rocking his dice today for initiative. For the Davion forces and for the opposing forces today, which will be the Kuritans, we'll be rolling these little basic dice. So let's go ahead and get our dice roll in here. And it looks like the Davions have taken it with a 7, and the Kuritans fail with a 5. So the Kurita forces will go first. Let's check our cards here, see which one is going to come in initiative order. So initiative order is the Sniper. Our sniper here is going to be the catapult, and it says, if you go first, to do is a sprint from all enemies and fused enemies in line of sight. I think that's going to be a little stupid, because I believe the P is sprint. I believe G was the ground, and I think stand still stationary was S. I think the sprint is really dumb, and we're on the small map, so we're going to make an executive decision, and we're going to go down the normal list here, mostly again because this is really stupid. He's already 42 from most enemies, and fused enemies in the line of sight. Would have been easy, but he wouldn't be able to shoot. So we're going to go to 3 towards most allies in line of sight facing most enemies, and that is going to be here, prioritizing cover, which I think makes the most sense. That was going to be dumb. If you guys happen to do ACES stuff, sometimes you're going to have to make executive decisions so they don't do stupid things, especially on this map. It's going to make more sense. All right, so Sniper done. And that is a standard move. So he has got a TMM of 1. There we go. TMM of 1. So that's going to bring us over to the Davion forces. And I think we're going to try and keep our Locust for last. Let's go ahead and bring our Hunchback. Let's bring him up to the woods, maybe. He can't quite make it, so he's going to hug a little bit of terrain here. Maybe he'll get a little peeky peek at some shots. This first turn we might not be doing much because we have such a large piece of area terrain in the middle. Next up for the Kuritans, it looks like our Skirmisher is going to be up, and that is going to be Zawuvari. And this says to ground move where most enemies in line of sight. Let's see what that looks like from his perspective. And I think we're going to go this way because the Thunderbolt, the Bushwhacker, Locust haven't moved. If he moves over here, has most line of sight, they're going to leave. I think you would prioritize to keep things in line of sight as much as possible. If he goes this way, that Hunchback is not going to move. So it does say ground move. Our Wolverine has a 10-inch move. And let's peek him over here. And I think he can get approximately here. And let's be a little cheeky. We'll give him a little bit of obscurity. I think he can probably see the Bushwhacker. And I'm going to say it's nicking a little bit of the trees, but not enough to block line of sight. I don't want to get down there and be too pedantic with the line of sight stuff. We're just filming a battle report here. You guys want to have a good time, not watch me be pedantic. All right, next up, let's go ahead and grab our Bushwhacker. He's got a 10-inch move. And he's going to cruise on over here next to the trees. Not much he can see going on. Probably not going to get beat up too bad on the first turn. So let's go ahead and get his team of 2 moving forward towards the Kuritans. For the Kurita forces, the Brawler is next, and that is going to be the Battlemaster. This says to ground move it towards highest health enemy. They are all full. I'm not sure that's the most. We've got 8. We've got 9, we've got 3, and it's going to be the T-Bolt. So our movement here on the Battlemaster is 8 inches. He can do a full move towards the highest, and he might actually be able to notch out a little bit to still have line of sight on the Hunchback and have some cover potentially from the Bushwhacker. So let's get his old TMM of a 1 rocking here. How about? And for the Davions, that is going to be our Thunderbolt up next with an 8-inch move. I don't think he's going to be able to shoot anything probably from the woods, so I think he's going to take a little sprinty poo He's going to end over here, get up in the trees, preparing for next turn. That might have been dumb because he might get shot, but he's got the most HP on my team, so maybe he can soak a few bullets. We'll see. We will see. All right, finally for the Kurita forces, the very last guy is the striker, and that's going to be our Uziel. Jump if the highest moved enemy has not yet moved to where woods are covered from most enemies. Interesting. That does actually make sense. He has a jump of 16. And what was the secondary part of that? Has to where woods are covered from most enemies. So he can absolutely do that. And we're going to jump. And he's going to put himself within, let's see if we get this right, right at short range from the Thunderbolt, which the Thunderbolt ran. I put the wrong dice next to him. He can't fire. So that's a reasonably good spot for the Uziel. And the cool thing with the Uziel, and this is one of the few times the card got it right, he did jump. We're going to use the black die because I have the white, the black, and the red for these guys. He jumped. He has a team of 2. He jumps, so 3. He's got strong jump jets, so 4. Bad boy's got a 4, which is fantastic. Last but not least for the Davions, though, we have a 16-inch move on the Locust. And because these guys have such good skills, I don't want to throw our Locust out and get him killed immediately. So I think our Locust, yeah, this is tough. I think our Locust is going to sprint. He's going to put himself outside the line of sight. He's going to prep for another turn. We may regret this later, but their skills are such that I don't know if his team of 3 is actually going to save him. The Kuritan forces have lost the initiative, so they're going to fire first. So let's go ahead and just go down the list, make my life easy. We will start with our sniper, which was the catapult. It says to shoot a thing it can destroy. What can catapult see? I think that's pretty much going to lock him into the Thunderbolt. So, T-Bolt for the catapult. Our catapult has 3 damage at short range or medium range. We've even got some old Dark Gauge dice for this. We'll make the red dead. That'll be the crits. For anyone who is following this doesn't know, the way I play is you pick 1 pair of dice to be the crit dice if you're doing multiple damage rolls. Raw Alpha Strike, you roll 1 pair damage for full damage or no damage, and you have 1 in 36 to crit. If you roll multiple dice, even if you only limit it to 1 crit, you still get 3 chances to get that critical. And by limiting it to 1, you keep it standard at 1 in 36 for every unit in the game. And I feel like that was the intention. That's what I do. You don't have to play that way, but that's what I like to do. It also just feels, I don't know, nice to me. So, that said, Catapult's going to go ahead and fire. He's skill 2. He's got a 3 damage. We're at medium range, so we're going to be +2. The Team M Thunderbolt is 1, so +3. He's in cover, so +4. He's skill 2, so looking for 6s. Here we go. He has hit with all 3 points of damage. Not a huge amount of damage, but still every little point counts. So boom, boom, boom. Thunderbolt has been hit. For any of you guys who follow for any length of time, you also know that I usually alternate firing to make it more fun. When I'm playing by myself, we're going to go through the whole force because it's going to make my life easier. Next up, we've got our skirmisher here. Wolverine. It says to shoot at thing it can destroy. Which is neither one of those at the moment. Next thing is the thing at the shortest range, which is going to be the Battlemaster, or excuse me, the Thunderbolt. And I think he's just inside of the range of the trees. So our Wolverine's got 3 damage as well. He's skill 3, 4, 5 for range, 6 for the trees, 7 for his TMM. Here we go. He hit for 2. That's still pretty good. Our Thunderbolt's getting beat up. If these had been on our Locust, I think our Locust would be dead. Coming up next, we have got Zabrala. And that is the Battlemaster. He has 3 damage as well. And we still don't, so you can see the Hunchback and the Thunderbolt. And I'm thinking I made a tactical error with that Thunderbolt, but we'll see. He says shoot the thing with the lowest TMM. That's tied. Next thing is shoot the thing you can destroy. Which you can't destroy that, and then the final thing is near. So TMM, tied, can destroy, they're all too high, and then near, so it goes back to the Thunderbolt. So we have got a skill of 2, 3, 4 for range, 5 for the trees, 6 for TMM. He hit with 2. Our Thunderbolt is stripped of his armor, boom boom, no bueno. And now, last but not least, the Uziel. So our Uziel is skill 3. He jumps, so 5, because he gets +2 to his skill when he jumps. He is at short range, team of 1, so 6 through the trees because the bubble is wide enough. There's like a little bubble where like if you fire, you ignore the first so many, but it's continuing, so there's a big enough gap here. So it's 5, 6, 7s. And he's got 4 damage. Here we go. We got 1, 2, he got 3 points of damage. That is going to be a crit roll on that Thunderbolt. Let's grab our crit table and see what we get. So we have rolled a 5, no critical hit. He lives to fight another day. That's going to bring us up to our turn to shoot. Let's see, I think our Uziel is in good range for the Hunchy, but probably have a hard time hitting that with the team of 4. So we're going to go after that Battlemaster. So our Hunchback is skill. Actually, he is only skill 1, isn't he? That's a different story. So skill 1, 2, 3 for range, 4 for woods, 8 for with his TMM. So actually, we're going to take that shot. Here we go, looking for 8s. And he whiffed all of it. Oh boy. All right, Locust has no shots. Bushwhacker, which I think that is too far, and we're going to say you can see the Battlemaster. We're going to guess it. I can't quite get the top view. You guys will see up above, but it's probably pretty close, but it's not going to be the end of the game, so end of the world, so we're going to make the shot. So our Bushwhacker at skill 1, 2, 3 for range, 4 for trees, 5 for team M, 6 for his obscurity. Here we go. He hit with 2. Our Battlemaster, blink, blink, has been damaged. So end of round 1 here. Our Thunderbolt has nearly been destroyed. Tactical error on my part, thinking that he could soak up shots. He did soak them, but probably not the smartest move. Not having the Locust in there, but we weren't showing armor, so probably not the best course of action on our part. But we'll see what we do in subsequent turns. So let's go ahead and get our initiative rocking. Here we go. Thunderhead has struck a 7 for the Davions again. And these Pooey dice have rolled a 6, so the Kuritans are first. Their initiative cards dictate that the Skirmisher moves first this time, which is going to be the Wolverine. And it says, so ground movement to most enemies in line of sight, and woods are cover for most enemies. I think we can do that. So, there we go. And he's got a TMM over too. Ta-da! Alright, so next up, that was the Skirmisher. I'll just turn these so I know who's gone. Let's go ahead and... That's a tough decision. Our Thunderbolt is in trouble, I think. I think he's in massive danger. Let's go ahead and bring our Bushwhacker up first, because we can get him up onto that Wolverine and maybe put some pain into him. So we got a 10 move. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and get that Wolverine in short range. Bushwhacker coming in. He's going to shoot him. It's what he's going to do. Hurrah! Team of 2. Alright, so next up for the Cretan forces, it is the Brawler, which is going to be the Battlemaster. It says stationary if no enemies within 16, at least one enemy within line of sight, team of 1 or less. Their enemies within 16 go into woods or cover from most enemies. So he's going to step up, and we'll make sure he is 6 inches from him. He is, and no matter where they go, we'll also rotate him so his rear is this way. So if any enemies come, we've got guys covering. Okay. Where's my white guy? There we go. Team him up 1. All right, coming over here. This is going to be a big brawl for the trees, I think. I think that is what is about to occur. Let's bring our Hunchback into the battle. He has got an 8-inch move. I don't think he's going to quite make... Actually, he can make the tree line. Fantastic. Let's just hobble those trees over a little bit, and he'll get into the tree line. That's about as far as he'll make it. Boom. All right, moving over to the Kurita forces again. The Striker is up next, and that is the Uziel. This one says, jump if the lowest health enemy has not yet moved to where woods are covered for most enemies, and it has not yet moved. Interesting. He's in woods and cover for most enemies, but jumping does make sense. So I think he jumps over here, keeps as much stuff in his front arc as possible. He's at short range on that bushwhacker, poised to make some punishing damage. Okay, and that's it's going to leave our sniper left, because that was the striker. So yeah, that'll be the sniper. All right, so that is going to bring us to our Thunderbolt. What does our poor T-Bolt want to do? I think he wants to get out of dodge. I don't think he wants to die. So he's got an 8-inch move, so 2 essentially to get out. So basically 6 from the edge. He can make it to here. If he goes here, he's got a little obscurity, and that's going to help somewhat. He's not going to be able to get away, but we're going to try and save him to fight another day. We got plenty of dudes up in the front. And finally, the sniper, the catapult. It says stationary if only one enemy is within the line of sight. That is, actually, might be true. Let's check that Hunchy. How far is he from? Yeah, so I think I called it being real close before, so we'll say that he could barely see the hunchback. That'll say stationary if you have woods or cover from all enemies. He does, so he is going to be stationary regardless. We got us a stationary sniper back here making a smart move. Now it is going to be up to the Kuritan forces to fire first. So we're going to have our skirmisher taking some shots. Wolverine, shoot at the thing it can destroy. And he can see the Thunderbolt. So we have got our Wolverine with 3 points of damage. 1, 2, and 3. He is skill 3. So 3, 4 for going through the woods, 5, 6 for range, 7 for TMM, 8 for his obscurity. Here we go. And he hits with all 3. Holy crap. All 3. That is enough to put the T-Bolt down. He is dead. Smoldering explosion right there. We have drawn first blood for the Kurita forces. Let's go into the Brawler. That is going to be the Battle Master. And it says shoot at thing it can destroy. Everything else is full life right now, so it can't destroy. Shoot at the thing at shortest range. I believe that is probably pretty close to tied. Shoot at the thing with the lowest TMM. That is going to be the Hunchback. So our Battle Master at short range has 3 damage. He's skill 2, 3 for woods, 4 for his TMM. He ought to be hitting him. He did manage to miss 1, but he put 2 points of damage into the Hunchy. Boom, boom. Hit him. Now we're coming over to our striker. That is going to be the Uziel. Shoot the thing with the lowest health. Interesting. Interesting. I think he's just out of the Hunchy, I think. I have an actual widget for this. This could be important. This is important. Let's get out the tactical widget. All right. Here we go. Let's move a tree here. Yep, he's just out of 6. So, couldn't shoot him because of the trees. I believe it's beyond 6 inches. Actually, no. He ignores the first 3. Or 2 or 3. So he can see him because he's in the woods, so he ignores, he's a little bubble. It's 2 or 3 inches, but in this case, either way, it will make it to where you can shoot him. But he's not at medium, or he's at medium, not short. So, it will shoot the lowest health thing, which currently I believe is the Hunchy, because he's down 2, which puts him at 8. Negative. He is tied with the Bushwhacker. Okay, so now it's going to prioritize the thing with the shortest range for our striker. That was Wolverine went first. And Battlemaster shot. Sorry, making sure we're on the right guy. So here it went with lowest health, and then they're tied, so it can destroy, which they're both tied, and then lowest range. So I was technically can destroy, and the lowest damage didn't matter anyway because they were tied. All right, so 4 points of damage going into the Bushwhacker. So the way that we've been doing it is you would have a little bubble around you that you would ignore for firing out, but they're both in it, so they're both actually occupying it, so I still give the woods cover, even though we're both standing pretty close to each other. So we have got a skill of 3. We jumped, so 5. Woods, so 6. TMM of 2, so 8. Here we go. And a big nothing. He was close. He rolled 2 7s. And finally, for the sniper, which will be the catapult. And it says to shoot the thing it can destroy. And I believe we said he could see the Hunchback. It was barely, but he could see it. And then next thing was lowest team, which would be the Hunchback anyway. I may have been a smidge off on the Hunchy, but we've been playing it that way, so we're just going to go with it. So the catapult. was stationary, so he's effective skill 1. 2 for range, so 3. 4 for team, so 4. And then +1 for trees, so 5s. Here we go. I actually rolled too many damage dice, but every one of those is above a 5, so it didn't matter anyway. So he hits our old hunchback for 3. Boom. He's got no armor left. Now it is up to the Davion forces to see what they can do. Alright, so the Wolverine was able to shoot the Thunderbolt, so Thunderbolt ostensibly can fire back, which is good. Who do we want to shoot at? I mean, Thunderbolt needs to hit something. He's going down. The Wolverine is a likely candidate because everything is in range of him, and I don't think we can pump enough damage in to take out that Battlemaster. Let's do quick math. So it'd be 4 damage from him. If we do 4 with the Hunchback, or excuse me, 5 with the Hunchback at short range, that's 9. And another short range with the Bushwhacker would be 13. What does the Battlemaster have left? He has 13. You know what? Also, we forgot to move a model, too. So we're going to cheat a little bit. I forgot to move the Locust there at the end. His intent was to come up and get towards people anyway, so he's behind their firing arc, and, I mean, I guess the catapult might have been able to shoot him, but we're cheating, because I forgot to move him. I'm sorry. YouTube land, judge me. I'm beating myself at a tabletop game. I'm winning and losing at the same time. Alright, so in that case, we will fire everything at the Battlemaster. He's the biggest bullet sponge on the table. Let's see what we can do. So the Thunderbolt has skill of 1. We're firing at medium range, so 3 through the woods, so 4, 5 for his TMM. And he has got 4 points of damage. So here we go, look for 5s. He hits for 4 damage. Alright. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 points of armor left. Let's go ahead and let the Locust take a shot here. I'm going to say that we're not technically fully in his rear, but the way that I do it is if we're notched in the building, it doesn't give cover both ways, because he's like leaning sort of kind of, if they're, you know, this is not intervening if he's laying on it. It's like, think of like a sniper or something, you know, leaning over cover, because he has cover doesn't mean the other guy does. The cover's not necessarily in between the same way. So this is what we're doing, if that makes any sense. So we have 3 points of damage at short range. He's skilled 2. Dude's in woods, so 3s, and team him of 1, so 4s. He hits for 3 points of damage. These high skills are hopefully making the game go fast. And we have a crit roll. Here we go. We have rolled a 6, which is a weapon hit. Boom. So he's at -1 point of damage, but he's probably dead this turn. Hunchback, you're up with 5 points of damage at short range. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So skill 1, right? Skill 1. Medium or short range, so 1. Trees, so 2. TMM of 1, or of 1, so 3s. Here we go. He did manage to miss one. he rolled a double 1 there. So he's got 4 points of damage on the Battlemaster. And I missed putting that last one there because he should have been at a crit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Crit roll. Here we go. We have hit a 9. A 9. No critical hit. And that's going to leave us with the Bushwhacker, the glory hound that he is. 4 points of damage for him. Also skill 1, also at short range. So skill 1 plus TMM is 2 plus trees is 3. He's going to have to roll really bad for this Battlemaster to survive. He didn't. The Battlemaster goes down. So we have traded an assault for a heavy. He is down and he has been removed. So going into turn 3, we have got a Hunchback with 4 points of life left. And relatively, yes, actually unscathed other miniatures or other mechs for the opposing forces. So we'll see what turn 3 has in store for us as we do our cleanup, our wrap up. Get these cards out of the way. And boom, boom, boom. Time for a little initiative. All right, grab our good old Thunderhead dice. And he failed us. We got a 6. And we got an 11 for the Kuritans. What a turn to be getting that. All right, our Hunchback is going to back up, and I think he's probably got enough to get into those trees. So he's skill 1, or team of 1. And that's going to bring us to the Kuritas. So the initiative here dictates the skirmisher goes first, which is the Wolverine. Jump towards lowest TMM enemy. Does he actually have jump? He doesn't. So we're going to be going all the way down. Ground movement towards nearest enemy. We're going to go with, see, that would technically be the Bushwhacker. He wants to keep cover from everything. Let's walk him up to be short range from the Hunchback and also be moving towards that guy. So he'll be point blank, and he'll be at, actually he's technically based with the Bushwhacker right now, but Bushwhacker's going to probably move. So here we go for the Wolverine. He's got his 2. Okay. And that was the skirmisher. Yeah. Next up for us, actually, let me move a deck of cards out of here because the Brawler is dead, so we only need 3 stacks here, don't we? Okay, next up, I think our Bushwhacker needs to move, needs to get some TMM going. So he's got effectively a 5 move with the woods, so he's going to go something like that, I think. Ta-da! So poised to try and blow up the Wolverine this turn if we can. Next up for the Kuritans, it is our Sniper, so it's going to be our Catapult. Ground move into woods or cover for most enemies, already has it. Ground 2 line of sight to enemies, enemy with lowest health. You can already see the Locust. Ground towards fused enemies in line of sight. Don't think he can do much. I'm going to make the executive decision to be stationary because all of these he's already kind of done, except for moving out of the woods towards nearest, which would be him who would move, which would then default to this one if we're trying to make sure to stay in line of sight and he's just leaving woods and walking forward. So again, executive decision here. You guys play how you want with the aces, but I'm trying not to make it easy on me. And based on what is here, they've only got the Locust left. The Locust coming behind the Catapult's not going to kill him. And everything else here is a ground movement forward, and he's in a position where he doesn't really need to move because he's fulfilled all the other ones. So I'm going to assume stationary is the logical choice. That's going to bring us to our Locust, which is technically the last move, and he is going to do what I just said. He's going to come here, he's going to harass the Catapult, and he's going to tow the... Actually, he'll stay just out of the woods, so units will likely have to fire through it to get to him, and he's not going to be slowed for his first move of the next turn. Here we go. TMM of 3. And that leaves us with our striker, Last Itch, which is the Uzil. And this one is saying, jump if the highest move enemy has not yet moved. He has ground movement towards the highest movement enemy. Interesting. So that is, he is going after the Locust now. And we have an effective 10-inch move. So we can call it 8 because he's leaving the woods. And he can come here. Whoop, knocking over buildings. And... if he goes here, he has cover from most enemy. Actually, if he fully comes around, which I think he had to move to basically do that, his arms are going to be facing the wrong way because I can't quite fit him because he's too wide, but he's facing this way. We'll keep his other thing away from them. And he'll come after the Locust here. No jump, but outside line of sight of those guys, so he's cut everything off from him. Now it's going to come to shooting. The Davion force is lost, so they are going to fire first. Let's go ahead and get our Locust out of the way. He is skill 2. He's got 3 points of damage. He's going to fire into that Catapult's rear. So skill 2, into the woods, looking at 4s. Our red is the crit again. And the way I play is that you get the bonus damage on the rear so long as you deal at least 1 point. So not an extra pair of dice, got to deal damage to get that bonus damage. As I drop things, as I roll, and everything is above a 2, and he actually rolled an 11 and a 12, but neither one of those were their crit. So, and that Catapult's pretty beefy, you got a lot of life. That's going to bring us to, let's go down the line here. Let's take the Bushwhacker into that Wolverine. So Bushwhacker has 4 points of damage at short range. He is skill 1. We're both in the trees, so that is going to be a 2. And the Wolverine moved, so 5s. And he did manage to miss 1, but he got 3 points of damage into that Wolverine. Head up. And Wolverine, he's beefy. He has 11 points of life. My goodness. And finally, our Hunchback is going to go ahead and fire as well. Skill 1. He's at short range, if I recall, because I think we had said the other guy was going to place himself at short. So it's going to be skill 1. We're going to be going into trees. So 2, team M 2. So 4s and 5 points of damage. Here we go. And yeah, he hits with all of it. So 5 points into the Wolverine. Just got gripped by our Hunchback. So it is a crit roll coming at us. Here we go. We rolled a 5, which is no critical. Womp, womp, womp. Now, for the Kuritans to strike back, to blast us on turn 3, we have the Skirmisher coming up, which is the Wolverine. Shoot the thing it can destroy. You can't technically destroy outright with anybody. Shoot the highest threat. And then the next one is shoot the lowest TMM. I forget how they define threat. I think it has to do with damage and HP. I'm going to make the decision to say it is the Hunchback. It makes the most sense. TMM, or skill 1, lowest TMM, which is on the list. Can't quite destroy him, but he's very close, 1 point off, and he has the most damage on the table. So I'm going to say he's the biggest threat because it's skill 1, 5 damage, and 4 at medium. He's just doing a little bit more than our Bushwhacker here. So Wolverine has 3 points of damage. We got 1, 2, and 3. He has skill 3, our Hunchback move, so 4, and entries, so 5s. And he gets 3 points through. Ugh, our Hunchback lives currently with 1 pip. Let's see what that crit roll is. Here comes the headshot. Oh, I saw that 6, so it's an 8. That's going to be a weapon hit. So when we took what I argued was the most threatening piece on the table and neutered him a little bit, he's a 4-3 for damage now. That's going to bring us to the Sniper. Shoot the thing with the lowest health. I think at this point he's crossing too many woods to get to the Hunchy. I believe that is going to be more than 600%. Over here, I think I might have been making some executive decisions, but that seems a little bit wider there. So the thing with the lowest TMM, which would be the Hunchy, can't see it, which I guess technically that pretty much means the only thing you can fire at is the Bushwhacker. So we're just going to fire the Bushwhacker. So he has 3 points of damage, and he was stationary, which is always nice. So he's effectively skill 1, 2, 3 for range, 4, 5 for TMM, and 6 for the trees. So here we go. And he managed to hit barely. He rolled 2 6s and a 7. So 3 points of damage into the Bushwhacker. Pretty good. And finally, last but not least, the Uziel, who's going to be shooting at the Locust. We're at medium range, barely. And he has got 4 points of damage. Let's get that going. And he's skill 3, so 3, 4, 5, 6 for trees, 9s for TMM. Oh my god, he crit him, and he got a total of 2 points of damage. Oh my gosh, Locust. Oh, let's see what the crit is. Here we go. Double ones! Oh, but womp womp. That was pretty awesome. He hit an ammo container on a Locust who has the ability E-N-E. Womp womp, Kuritans. You didn't get him, but you tried. Oh man, if that had been boxcars, that would have been nuts. Alright, so we're going to be going into, I believe this is turn 4. Do a little cleanup here. Luckily, our Hunchback lives to fight another day. I am shocked that has transpired the way it did. I for sure thought he might have been dead, but the Uziel pulling himself off and to come intercept the light probably saved the Hunchback, but also almost one-shot the Locust, which would have taken some material off the table. Tactically speaking, maybe closing in on the Hunchback right here might have taken him out and might have been the play, but intercepting the Locust felt fluffy too. So the initiative deck, or the Alpha Strike Aces deck, did something cool. So going into turn 4 here, let's go ahead and see if our Thunderhead dice betray us again. And they do. We got a 6 to an 11 again. 6 to 11. There they go. So that means the Davion forces are up first again. I think that means, man, we got to see. We're retreating now. We're in a tactical withdrawal. That is what we're having to do. So he has 2 from the edge. It's effectively 4 inches to get out, 6 inches left to move over. So he is going to kind of come here. He's hiding from the catapult and forcing that Wolverine towards him if he wants to come play. All right, so cards here. The first one up is a Skirmisher. Again, so the Wolverine. Ground movement to 18 inches from nearest enemy. So the Hunchy hasn't moved. Next thing would be, because he'd be the nearest currently, Let's see, into woods are covered for most enemies, which he has. Line of sight from lowest team enemy. Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is he's going to put himself at approximately, I guess, 18 from him. We'll make it to where he can't be shot, which is actually not terrible. And it won't be full 18, but he'll still be able to maintain his cover. So that's the best I could do. I'm saying this was technically nearest, but he hasn't moved, and if he moves, he's like not fulfilling it. So that's what we're going to try and do, and even then, the movement from both is kind of probably doing the same thing. So next up for us, the Davion forces. Here's the thing: our Hunchback has 1 life left. I think we're cheeky, and he does a sprint maneuver and comes and hides. I think that pulls us into turn 5. It saves him a little tactical withdrawal here. Our Bushwhacker's not getting hit because that said to get him at 18 away. Maximum woods between us, so there is more than 6 inches. That is going to leave us with the Locust and the Catapult. I think the Locust might be able to run and get away. So next up for Team M is for the initiative order here is going to be, or whatever they call this thing. The lower number goes first. It's going to be the Sniper Catapult. It says ground movement to 24 from nearest enemy. Into woods and cover for most enemies. Line of sight from the lowest team. All right, so I think at this point, we are going to make the decision that he wants to leave cover. He has an 8-inch move, so we're going to call it 2 inches because he's not on the edge to leave, so we'll give him a 6, and he'll come over here. Okay, so there's his team M, and let's give them the proper ones a head dice to separate them because that's what I wanted to do. Alright, so that's going to leave us with the Locust, and our poor little Locust also has 1 point of life. He could probably suicide himself going after that Wolverine. He's got a 16-inch move, and he could come around here, get 6 inches away. Yeah, so we're going to try and trade material. We're going to trade the Locust possibly for the Wolverine, and he's going to turn his rear to make it difficult to get on his butt. That is probably going to be a sad day for the Locust, but it is the best play, I think, to trade some material. Last but not least, it's the Striker for the Uziel. Sprint if no enemies within 24, and there are within 24. Target ground movement towards the highest team of Yup. He is hunting that Locust. His Lance leader, we're going to call that the Catapult, who got a battlefield promotion, has called him in and said, I need you, get him off of my 6, red leader's being shot, let's go. So he's going to move over here, and his arms are going to kind of be in the way, so we're going to position him like this, right? He can't get fully behind the Locust, but he can get to a point where the Locust can't fire at him. Not that the Locust probably would. So that is going to bring us to the Davion forces taking shots. Hunchback has no shots, Bushwhacker has no shots, Catapult has no shots, Wolverine has no shots, unless the Catapult has rear. Does anyone have rear? Battlemaster did, but he's gone. So that is going to be a Locust fire in turn 1, 2, and 3. The Locust is going to take a shot into the rear of the poor Wolverine. So the Locust at short range with skill 2 into woods is a 4 plus 2 for his team M. I put it at 1, but it is a 2. So we had skill 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Here we go. And he hits with all of them, which will effectively be 4 points of damage because he's on the rear. He only needed 3. So boom! The Wolverine goes down. He hath been shot and blown up. Woo-hoo. And that's going to bring us to the Uziel, whose only target is the Locust, and he's going to shoot. So he's got 4 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skill 3, he's at point blank. Team him on that guy's a 6 or a 3, so 6 is to hit. Unless he whiffs real bad, that Locust is toast. He did not whiff real bad. He rolled a 9, a 12, an 8, and a 7. The Locust has been eradicated, and Uziel laughs. He chalks up a kill. He has swatted that Locust down. We're going into, I believe this is turn 5, and I think the Kuritans may have this in the bag. That Uziel's in really good shape. Catapult's in really good shape. Our Hunchback is nearly toast. And our Bushwhacker's fresh, but I don't think he can win a toe-to-toe fight with the other guys. Here we go for initiative. Thunderhead sticks it with a 12. Baller. Let's go. All right, so our skirmisher is gone. So priority here dictates the sniper goes first with the 848. All right, so ground movement to 42 in line of sight to most enemies and woods and cover for most. Stay shift, no enemies with 18, at least one enemy. Yeah, but they're going to action under in line of sight. So I think he's going to move into the woods. And what we're going to do to make things practical for our catapult here, let's remove these trees for just a moment. He's got plenty of move. He's going to go to right there. He is 6 inches from the edge, just at it. Well, there you go. It's just inside. So now, big bubble. If he can see it, he can shoot it. That's what we want. So he has got a team M of 1. All right. So that is the sniper. Striker's left. It is now time for us. Our bushwhacker has a 10-inch move. You can't quite get behind him, but he's going to get up point blank in his face and say, "What's up, bud?" He's a short range in the trees, but he's fresh, and we're hoping to bait out some... Actually, he's not fresh. Scratch that. He's got 5 life, but he's got 5 times more HP than his lance mate does, so he'll cruise up there. This is going to bring us to the striker, Uziel. Jump if the lowest health enemy has not yet moved to where woods are covered for most enemies. Oh my god. This time, I've been complaining a little bit. The striker units that have jump, sometimes it doesn't make sense. This guy... It is, it's making maximum sense here. So he's going to jump. He's going to put himself on the same rough plane as the catapult. So no matter where that hunchback goes, he's got shots on him. The woods aren't going to protect him, basically. But we did jump. That is going to be a TMM of 2, plus 1 for the jump, plus 1 for strong jump jets. So for that Uziel... What a baller. The fact that it's making him jump is so good. So good. Like, I mean, I'm losing here, but it's making good decisions because the strong jump jets, it doesn't account very well for that with the cards, and this time it is. So our Hunchy, who has got a 8-inch move, he does. He is going to come over here, I think. He's not going to go for short range. He's going to go for, actually, this makes the most sense. I was about to make a really stupid decision. He's going to come here. He's going to gain obscurity. So he's got at least a third of his mech blocked. He's poised for a shot. So Kurita lost. They fire first. Catapult's going to shoot at the thing it can destroy. I actually think... Did I have enough move? Hang on. Before we finish. I had enough move that I think we could have notched it to where I could only ever see the Uziel. So the catapult can't shoot him. Catapult's forced into the bushwhacker. So catapult has 4 points of damage at short range. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Skill 2. He's got a team of 2, so 6, and wood, so 7s. 2 points of damage. 2 points of damage. All right. Bushwhacker has no armor left, but he's still cooking. And the Uziel. Shoot at the thing it can destroy. He has 4 points of damage at short range. He could kill both. So next, lowest health, which is now going to prioritize the Hunchback. And with him hunting down our threatening units, the flanker, that is the Locust, the highest damage on the table, makes sense that the Uziel is being the sniper. That said, tactically speaking, the Bushwhacker's probably the play because he's at short range, but he only has to get 1 damage through on the Hunchback, and knowing where the Bushwhacker is means the Bushwhacker's going to have a harder time hiding versus him being, farther away and kind of zipping around. So I think either decision for the cards this time could have been argued to go either way. So let's go ahead and grab the Uziel. He's got his 4 points of damage, skill 3, 4, 5 for range, 6 for the, let me back up, I'm going to do this math wrong. He's skill 3, he jumps so 5, 6, 7 for range, 8 for obscurity, 9 for trees. Still not bad. And of course he sticks an 11 and a 10, so our Hunchback is going down, and now it is time for us to fire back. Before the Hunchy departs, he is going to make his not actual Alpha Strike, but sort of Alpha Strike into the Uziel. He has skill 1, he's only got 3 points of damage now because he's at medium range, and he has a weapon hit. So skill 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10s. Ugh, 10s. At skill 1, he needs 10s, right? Skill 1, 2, 3 for the range, 4 for the trees. No, 8s, not 10s, 8s. I don't know where I was getting the plus 2, so 8s. He hit 2. He hit a 9 and an 8. Take that, Uziel. Whoop. And unfortunately, Lance Leader is gone. Drug off the table. Ejection pods flying off. And that's going to bring our Bushwhacker up. He needs to do something. If he hits this Uziel pretty hard, because he's not going to kill Catapult, he's going to have to go after the Uziel. He might be able to debilitate him, but he won't kill him. Alright, so our Bushwhacker at skill 1 in the tree, so 2. He's got a team of 4, so 6s. Bushwhacker with 4 points of damage at short range. Here we go. And we hit with all 4. So 4 points of damage. Uziel's got 1 life left. Here's the crit roll. Oh, a 3. What does a 3 do? Engine hit. That is rough. And the way that that has been ruled is that he did fire this turn, and he is going to gain a heat, because that's checked, I guess, at the end of the turn or something. Now they've changed kind of the order. So engine hits are pretty brutal crits to get. All right, and to do the explanation on that, the way it was told to me at Southern Assault last year, if you take an engine hit, the crit does happen at the end of the turn, but the way heat is applied happens at the end of the turn. So that's when it is checked, and so you've already fired, you got the crit, now you check for heat, and he gains the heat from hitting. That's what was explained to me. That is also why now, if someone hits you with a flamer, and you take a unit and you pass turn, they still get the heat because you cool down first, and you remove heat, and then heat's applied at the very end. So it's something like that. I may have the exact explanation wrong, but that is how it was ruled at Southern Assault, and that is how I play. So we're going into turn 6. Let's get a little initiative roll going on here. Thunderhead wins by 1. So Uziel and Catapult have to both move because they outnumber him 2-1. What will he do? Alright, so this time Striker is first. And if he goes first, jump to 18 for all enemies and no line of sight or most cover. Interesting. So he's trying to run, jump to 18 from all enemies and no line of sight, most cover. He could jump to here as he jumps and picks up that guy and land like there. Again, his guns are kind of messing it up, but we're just going to turn them so I can make them fit. So we're pretty sure Bushwhacker can't see him. Not enough to actually call anything. And he's got a heat on him. That's going to bring us to the sniper. It says stationary for no enemies in line of sight. At least 1 enemy in line of sight. Within 12. So no, here's one within 12. Ground movement 2 into line of sight from enemies with the lowest health. He doesn't have jump, so he is going to he's got to back up. That's not good. He's got to go over here, I think, because if the Bushwhacker comes out to get his rear, I think actually he probably needs to come like this. So if the Bushwhacker comes for his rear, the Uziel can intercept. I think that is what it would try and do. So we have a team of 1, team of 4. And the Bushwhacker has got a 10-inch move, I believe. He does have a 10. That would get me to the edge over here. So that would be like that. Yep. And he can see the Uziel as well. So fantastic. Alright, so these guys shoot first, so Catapult. Actually, sorry, Striker. So he's going to fire first. He has an engine hit. So his effective pilot skill is treated as 1 higher. And actually his movement was probably supposed to be reduced as well, but whatever. So pilot skill is treated as a 4 instead of 3. He jumps, so 6. And I can't remember how they ruled with heat, if heat reduces the jump move or not. But whatever. So he has got a skill of 4. He jumps, so 6. We're at medium range, so 8. And this guy moved, so 10s. Alright, it says to overheat, but doesn't have overheat, so he's got 4 dice, looking for 10s. Nothing. He got 2 9s. Excuse me, 3 9s. That was very close. And the catapult was also going to fire at him at short range. Catapult has 4 damage. He's skilled 2. 3 4. I don't think there's any way to argue the truth there. So looking for 4s. Oof. Oof. Bushwhacker, I'm sorry. And that is just enough to take him out. Just enough. As the Hail Mary, just to see what that Bushwhacker can attempt to do. As he's going down, he's only got 3 points of damage at medium range. He's going to take those shots on the Uziel. So he has effectively got a skill 1, 2, 3, 4 range. 7 for his TMM, and 8 for his obscurity. He wants to go out in a blaze of glory. And he does not. He rolled a 7, a 6, and a 7. He has been obliterated. And the Uziel lives to fight another day. So that is going to be a Draconis Combine Battletech Aces victory over the Davion forces. I hope you guys enjoyed that battle report. That was entertaining. I had to make some executive decisions, as I mentioned before. It's kind of what you got to do with the Aces stuff to make sure you're being honest with yourself and not just beating up on the AI. Because you can do that. You can win if you want to, but make some executive decisions and make the game challenging for yourself. I did indeed lose, but also won because I played both forces and I'm filming something for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Sound off in the comments below if you got any thoughts, if you got anything wrong, which is possible. I do screw things up, but I do this to be entertaining for you guys, and I'm not worried about being super pedantic for tournament level play. I just want to have a good time. As always, if you guys want to help support what I do, check out the description down below. Death Design is where I work. Got a cool snazzy coupon. Pick up some stuff from Fortress Miniatures and Games for all of your Battletech needs. Bobby's a good guy, helps support what I do. If you like these paint jobs and you want to pick up some paint, check out Monument Hobbies and their Pro Acrylic line. It is my go-to. Got a snazzy coupon and link down below as well. Finally, as we end today's video, the most important thing I want to say is thank you to all you guys who are helping support what I do, and big thank you, uber thank you, super thank you to all you awesome supporters who have considered being patrons. If you want to check that out, there's a link below. But with that said, you guys keep rolling your dice, keep painting your models. I'll catch you next time. We're going to go ahead and roll the credits, thanking the patrons for supporting what I do.